Congratulations on your new Priefert sweep system. This instructional video will show the installation of Priefert's 180-degree Premier Open Sweep onto an existing set of holding pins. It will demonstrate the fundamentals of how to properly install your sweep, even if it's not this particular model. Following these instructions will help ensure that your sweep system is installed correctly and will continue to function properly for many years to come. Let's take a look at the parts list for a 180-degree Premier Open Sweep with a 32-foot lead-up alley, one 10-foot bow gate, one 10-foot panel with alley frame, 3 radius bars, 4 8-foot curved panels, 4 16-foot Premier panels, 4 alley frames, and 2 no-back alley stops. The tools needed to complete this installation will include a shovel and possibly a rake, and pliers. Okay, let's get started. Selecting a location for your sweep system is very important. Depending on its diameter, you will need to calculate the amount of space required for a safe working environment. Once you've decided on a location, you can start to prepare the ground. Using a shovel and/or rake, try to level out the ground along the path of the sweep. You will find this helpful when installing the radius bars and panels. It will also help keep the sweep level and square. First, place the 10-foot bow gate where you would like the cattle to enter the sweep. Next, line up the panel end of the 10-foot panel with alley frame to the hinge side of the 10-foot bow gate. Lift the hinge side of the bow gate frame and fit it over the tube on the plate attached to the bottom of the panel leg. Using the attached chains, secure the panel by wrapping the top chain around the panel, bow gate, and any existing structure to which you may be attaching your sweep. Making sure you pull the chain tight as you thread it through the hole to latch the chain in the slot. Repeat these steps with the other chains.
Even a set of pliers, taking the handle of a set of pliers to get that extra length and make sure you get it tight is important. That way you make sure you can get it tight. You may have to tap on it. Make sure it's secure, then you'll see it's much tighter. You don't want play in there.
Note, do not attach the latch side of the bow gate to your structure at this time. Having this free will allow you to make adjustments when installing your curved panels. Now it's time for the radius bars. Take note of the holes located on the base plate on which the hinge side of your bow gate is now setting. For each radius bar, place the end of the bar with the straight pipe going through one of these holes into the ground, leaving the curved end facing upward. Using the chain on the bottom corner of the bow frame, secure all 3 radius bars into place by wrapping the chain under the curved ends of the bars and making sure to thread the chain through the loop on the base plate and around the bow frame. Then, pull the chain through the hole on the bow frame and latch it securely into the slot. With the radius bars in place, you're now ready for the curved panels. Start by installing your first panel on the latch side of your bow gate by sliding the panel tabs around the bow frame and securing the panel with both the top and bottom chains. On the opposite end of the curved panel, place the J-leg in the center of the radius bar leg cradle. The second panel can now be connected to the first. Place the J-leg in the other half of the cradle and line the tabs up with the first panel. Use the chains to complete the connection. It's important to keep the chains on the outside of the panels. This will allow the bow gate to freely move inside the curved panels.
So you want to take the chain that's on the outside of this panel, slip it through the hole, simply back over and secure. You want to take the second chain that actually starts on the inside, bring it underneath the panel, through the hole, and then secure.
Once the panels are secured together, you will take the chain from the radius bar, pass the chain around the J-leg of one panel, through the loop on the radius bar, and around the other panel leg, then through the hole and latch it in the slot. Continue this process with the other 2 panels. Remember to use a pair of pliers if the next chain link is just out of reach to keep the panels tightly secured. Do not attach the last curve panel to the panel with alley frame. You will come back and attach this when you attach your alley panels.
Right here, since we're going to build an alley, you just want to get it in secure, sit there, because you're going to tie all the panels for the alley in there. If you're only doing a sweep alone and tying into your own alley, then you would, at this point, tie all the chains together to secure it.
You're now ready for the alley. Place your first panel at the inside opening of the 10-foot panel with alley frame.
Simply tie it in once again, using all the chain that you can. What I normally do to ensure it's tight, especially on unlevel ground, I'll pick up slightly on the panel. Try to get that next length. You want that panel just barely settling on the ground. That way the pressure's on that chain ensures it's tight, so when cattle come through, it doesn't push the panels apart. Repeat the process on the bottom. You want to go over the top of the rail, through the hole, chain it down. You're ready for your next panel. Set your second panel in place. Now at this point, you'll want to tie your last curved panel and your first alley panel all together with your panel with alley frame. So you want to squeeze it, get it tight. Through the loop, you're secure. Now you can go through. I always use every chain available.
Next, place an alley frame at the end of the two panels, then lift both panels and slide the alley frame under the J-legs.
Once you do that, you can simply take it back. And since these are 16-foot panels, you'll notice we have drilled stays, 3 of them. You want to put it, this will be the dead center of the panels for your 16-foot alley. Get those secure, loop around there, around the outside, loop it again, and come back through the hole. As long as it's tight. But again, I'll pick up on the panel. That way, most of the pressure is on the alley frame and not on the on the alley frame and not on the panel itself. Because when cattle come through, when they hit it, you don't want that moving. You want it secure.
Before you start your next set of panels, place another alley frame against the end of your alley. You will attach your next 2 panels to the first ones with this alley frame sandwiched in between. Follow the same procedure as before. Chain all the components together. It may be necessary for another person to lift up on the opposite end of the panel to help ensure your connections are as tight as possible. Using all the chains provided will help keep the panels secured. You can now continue as before by sliding another alley frame under the panel's front legs and positioning it in the center of the panels. If you're not going to tie into a headgate, squeeze chute, preg cage, or other structure, you will need to place an alley frame at the end of the last set of panels. Secure the alley frame as before. If you are going to tie your alley into additional equipment, use the chains on the last set of panels to secure the attachment. All Priefert cattle handling equipment easily attaches to our panels. For example, we will attach a Priefert preg cage to the end of our alley. Place the preg cage at the end of your panels and be sure to line the panels up with the preg cage's frame, with the tabs on the preg cage fitting around the outside of the panels. Use the chains to secure the cage to the panels. When using no-back alley stops, you want to place them in a location that will prevent them from being pushed backwards. The end of a panel near the fish hooks will give you a place to wrap the chain so that the unit will stay in place. Making sure that the top chains are on the outside of each panel. Wrap the first chain around the top rail and fish hook, then center the stop before latching the chain. Repeat this step for the other side. Be sure to pull the stop tight as you latch the chain. Another good location would be to place the alley stop near a drilled stay, wrapping the chain around the stay to properly secure the stop. Center the stop inside the alley before connecting the chain. Repeat this step for the other side. Now, adjust the stop to the desired height based on the size of cattle that will be coming through the alley. It's recommended that stops be set just high enough that they will not deter cattle from passing underneath, but will fall just below the top of their back end to prevent them from backing up the alley. If you have any questions or need to contact us for any reason, please give us a call at 1-800-572-8616 or visit us online at Priefert.com. Priefert, built by ranchers for ranchers.